Text number 4. This great machine, consisting of the stars and planets, resembles the form of a sisumara, or dolphin, in the water. It is sometimes considered uh, an incarnation of Krishna, Vasudeva. Great yogis meditate upon Vasudeva in this form because it is actually visible. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The transcendentalists, such as yogis whose minds cannot accommodate the form of the Lord, prefer to visualize something very great, such as the Virata Purusha. Therefore, some yogis contemplate this imaginary Sisumara to be swimming in the sky, the way a dolphin swims in water. They meditate upon it as the Virata Rupa, the gigantic form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text number 5. This one. This form of the Sisumara has its head downward and its body coiled. On the end of its tail is the planet Juva. On the body of its tail are the planets of the demigods Prajapati, Agni, Indra, and Dharma. And at the base of its tail are the planets of the demigods Datta and Vidata, where the hips might be on the Sisumara are 7 saintly sages like Vasistha and Angira. The coiled body of the Sisumara chakra turns toward its right side, on which the 14 constellations from Abhijit to Punarvasi are located. On the left side are the 14 stars from Pusya and Uttara Sadha. One second. Uttara Sadha. Thus, its body is balanced because its sides are occupied by an equal number of stars. On the back of the Sisumara is the group of stars known as Ajaviti, and on its abdomen is the Ganges that flows in the sky, the Milky Way. Text number 6. On the right and left sides of where the loins might be on the Sisumara chakra are the stars named Punarvasu and Pusha, Ardra, and Aslesa are on its right and left feet. Abhijit and Uttarasada are on its right and left nostrils. Shravana and Purvasada are at its right and left eyes, and Dhanista and Amula are on its right and left ears. The 8 stars from Magha and Anuradha, which mark the southern course are on the ribs of the left of its body, and the 8 stars from Mrigashirsha to Purva Bhadra, which mark the northern course, are on the ribs on the right side. Sata Bishra, Sat Bisham and Chesta are on the right and left shoulders. Text number 7. On the upper chin of the Sisumara is Agasti. On its lower chin, Yamaraja. On its mouth, Mars. On its genitals, Saturn. On the back of its neck, Jupiter. On its chest, the Sun. And within the core of its heart, Narayana. Within its mind is the moon, on its navel, Venus, and on its breasts, the Ashwini Kumaras. Within its life air, which is known as Pranapana, is Mercury. On its neck is Rahu. All over its body are comets, and in its pores are the numerous stars. Text number 8. My dear king, the body of the Sisumara, as thus described, should be considered the external form of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Morning, noon, and evening, one should silently observe the form of the Lord as the Sisumara Chakra and worship him with this mantra: O Lord, who has assumed the form of time, O resting place of all the planets moving in different orbits, O master of all demigods, O supreme person, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you and meditate upon you. Okay, very nice. Text number 9. The body of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, which forms the Sisumara Chakra, is the resting place of all the demigods and all the stars and planets. One who chants this mantra to worship the Supreme Person 3 times a day, morning, noon, and evening, will surely be freed from all sinful reactions. If one simply offers his obeisances to this form or remembers this form 3 times a day, all the recent sinful activities will be destroyed. Oh, okay, that's good news. Report by Srila Prabhupada. Summarizing the entire description of the planetary systems of the universe, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur says that one who is able to meditate upon this arrangement as the Virata Rupa or Vishwarupa, the external body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worship him 3 times a day by meditation, will always be free from all sinful reactions. Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura estimates that Dhruvaloka, the pole star, is 3,800,000 yojanas above the sun. Above Dhruvaloka by 10 million yojanas is Maharloka, and above Maharloka by 20 million yojanas is Janaloka. Above Janaloka by 80 million yojanas is Tapaloka, and above Tapaloka by 1 billion? No. 1,200,000 yojanas is Satyaloka. Thus, the distance from the sun to Satyaloka is 233 yojanas, or 1,870,400 miles. Wow. The Vaikuntha planets begin to 26,200,000 yojanas, or 209,600,000 miles above Satyaloka. Thus, the Vishnu Purana describes that the covering of the universe is 260 million yojanas, or 2.80 trillion miles away from the sun. The distance from the sun to the earth is 100,000 yojanas, and below earth by 70,000 yojanas are the 7 lower planetary systems called Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. Below these lower planets are 30,000 yojanas. I'm sorry, below these lower planets by 30,000 yojanas. Sheshanaga is lying on the Garbhodaka Ocean. That ocean is 249 million. That ocean is 800,000 million yojanas deep. Thus, the total diameter of the universe is approximately 500 million yojanas, or 400 billion miles. Wow. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 5th canto, 23rd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Sisumara Planetary System. Chapter 24, The Subterranean Heavenly Planets. This chapter describes the planet Rahu, oh my God, which is 10,000 yojanas, or 80,000 miles below the sun, and it also describes Atala and the other lower planetary systems. Rahu is situated below the sun and moon. It is between these 2 planets and the earth. When Rahu conceals the sun and moon, eclipses occur, either total or partial, depending on whether Rahu moves in a straight or curving way. Below Rahu, by another 1 million yojanas, are the planets of the Siddhas, Sharanas, and Vidyadharas. And below these are planets such as Yakshaloka and Rakshaloka. Below these planets is the earth, and 70,000 yojanas below the earth are the lower planetary systems: Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. Demons and Rakshasas live in these lower planetary systems with their wives and children, always engaged in sense gratification and not fearing their next births. That's really stupid. The sunshine does not reach these planets, but they are illumined by jewels fixed upon the hoods of snakes. Wow. Because of these shining gems, there is practically no darkness. Those living in these planets do not become old or diseased, and they are not afraid of death from any cause but the time factor. the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the planet Attila, the yawning of a demon, has produced three kinds of women called Swarini, independent, Kamini, lusty, and Pumsakali, very easily subdued by men. Okay, well, now we know where not to go. That means you'll become completely overwhelmed by sense gratification. Below Attila is the planet Vitala, wherein Lord Shiva and his wife Gauri reside. Because of their presence, a kind of gold is produced called Hitaka. Below Vitala is the planet Sutala, and above the abode of Bali Maharaja, the most fortunate king. Bali Maharaja was favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Vamanadeva because of his intense devotional service. The Lord went to the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj and begged him for 3 paces of land. And on the plea, the Lord took from him all his possessions. When Bali Maharaja agreed to all this, the Lord was very pleased, and therefore the Lord serves as his doorkeeper. The description of Bali Maharaja appears in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead offers a devotee material happiness, this is not his real favor. The demigods, who are very pure, puffed up. Okay, 1 second. Very puffed up by their material opulence, pray to the Lord only for material happiness, not knowing anything better. Devotees like Prahlad Maharaja, however, do not want material happiness. Not to speak of material happiness, they do not want even liberation from material bondage, although one can achieve this liberation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, even with improper pronunciation. Well, that's the way we do it anyway. Below Sutala is the planet Talatala, and above the demon Maya. This demon is always materially happy because he is favored by Lord Shiva. But he cannot achieve spiritual happiness at any time. Below Talatala is the planet Mahatala, where there are many snakes with hundreds and thousands of hoods. Below Mahatala is Rasatala, and below that is Patala, where the serpent Vasuki lives with his associates. Text number 1. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, "My dear king, some historians, the speakers of the Puranas, say that 10,000 yojanas, or 80,000 miles, below the sun is the planet known as Rahu, which moves like one of the stars. The presiding deity of that planet, who is the son of Simhika, is the most abominable of all asuras." Well, that's definitely a place I don't want to go to. But although he is completely unfit to assume the position of a demigod or planetary deity, he has achieved that position by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Later, I shall speak further about him. Okay, that's good. Text 2. The sun globe, which is a source of heat, extends for 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles. The moon extends for 20,000 yojanas, or 160,000 miles. And Rahu extends for 30,000 yojanas, or 240,000 miles. Formerly, when nectar was being distributed, Rahu tried to create the dissension between the sun and moon by interposing himself between them. Rahu is inimical toward both the sun and the moon, and therefore he always tries to cover the sunshine and moonshine on the dark moon day and full moon night. Okay. As stated herein, the sun extends for 10,000 yojanas, and the moon extends for twice that, or 20,000 yojanas. The word dvadasa should be understood to mean twice as much as 10 or 20. In the opinion of Vijayadvaja, the extent of Rahu should be twice that of the moon, or 40,000 yojanas. However, to reconcile this apparent contradiction to the text of the Bhagavatam, Vijayadvaja cites the following quotation concerning Rahu. Rahu Soma Ravinam Tu Mandala Dvi Gun Nopitam. This means that Rahu is twice as large as the moon, which is twice as large as the sun. This is the conclusion of the commentator Vijayadvaja. Text 3. After hearing from the sun and moon demigods about Rahu's attack, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu engages his disk, known as the Sudarshan Chakra, to protect him. The Sudarshan Chakra is the Lord's most beloved devotee and is favored by the Lord. The intense heat of its effulgence, meant for killing non-Vaishnavas, is unbearable to Rahu, and he therefore flees in fear of it. During the time Rahu disturbs the sun or moon, there occurs what people commonly know as an eclipse. Purport: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is always the protector of his devotees, who are also known as demigods. The controlling demigods are most obedient to Lord Vishnu, although they also want material sense enjoyment. And that is why they are called demigods, or almost godly. Although Rahu attempts to attack both the sun and the moon, they are protected by Lord Vishnu. Being very afraid of Lord Vishnu's chakra, Rahu cannot stay in front of the sun or moon for more than a muhurta, 48 minutes. The phenomenon that occurs when Rahu blocks the light of the sun or moon is called an eclipse. The attempt of the scientists of this earth to go to the moon is as demoniac as Rahu's attack. Okay, that means that they're not going to go. Of course, their attempts will be failures. Okay, there it is. Because no one can enter the moon or sun so easily. Like the attack of Rahu, such attempts will certainly be failures. Okay, that's why they're not going there. Although they claim they went there once. That, of course, is nonsense. Text 4. Below Rahu, like 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles, are the planets known as Siddhaloka, Charanaloka, and Vidyadhara Loka. Purport. It is said that the residents of Siddhaloka, being naturally endowed with the powers of yogis, can go from one planet to another by their natural mystic powers without using airplanes or similar machines. Wow. This is the who's who and the where's where of material uh, worlds. And the scientists have no idea at all about all this. Text number 5. Beneath Vidyadhara Loka, Charana Loka, Siddhaloka, in the sky called Antariksha, are the places of enjoyment for the yakshas, rakshasas, pisachas, ghosts, and so on. Antariksha extends as far as the wind blows and the clouds float in the sky. Above this, there is no more air. Well, you can't go further than everyone will choke. Translation. Below the abodes of the yakshas and rakshasas, by a distance of 100 yojanas or 800 miles, is the planet Earth. Its upper limits extend as high as swans, hawks, eagles, and similar large birds can fly. My dear king, beneath this earth are 7 other planets known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasalatala, Rasalatala, and Patala. I have already explained the situation of planetary systems of Earth. The width and length of the 7 lower planetary systems are calculated to be exactly the same as those of Earth. Text number 8. In these 7 planetary systems, which are also known as the subterranean heavens, Bila Swarga, there are very beautiful houses, gardens, and places of sense enjoyment, which are even more opulent than those in the higher planets, because the demons have a very high standard of sensual pleasure. I don't want to go there. Sensual pleasure, wealth, and influence. Most of the residents of these planets, who are known as Daityas, Danavas, and Nagas, live as householders. Their wives, children, friends, and society are all fully engaged in illusory material happiness. The sense enjoyment of the demigods is sometimes disturbed, but the residents of these planets enjoy life without disturbance. They are understood to be very attached to illusory happiness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to the statements of Prahlad Maharaja, material enjoyments is Maya Sukha, illusory enjoyment. A Vaishnava is full of anxiety for the deliverance of all living entities from such false enjoyment. Prahlad Maharaja says, Maya Sukhaya Param Udvato Vimudan. These fools, Vimudas, are engaged in material habit, which is surely temporary, whether in the heavenly planets, the lower planets, or the earthly planets. People are engrossed in temporary material happiness, forgetting that in due course of time, they have to change their bodies according to the material laws and suffer the repetition of birth, death, old age, and disease. Not caring what will happen in the next birth, Gross materialists are simply busy enjoying during the present short span of life. A Vaishnava is always anxious to give all such bewildered materialists the real happiness of spiritual bliss. Text number 9. My dear King, in the imitation heavens, known as Bila Swarga, there is a great demon named Maya Danava, who is an expert artist and architect. He has constructed many brilliantly decorated cities. There are many wonderful houses, walls, gates, assembly houses, temples, yards, and temple compounds, as well as many hotels serving as residential quarters for foreigners. The houses for the leaders of these planets are constructed with the most valuable jewels, and they are always crowded with living entities known as Nagas and Asuras, as well as many pigeons, parrots, and similar birds. All in all, these imitation heavenly cities are most beautifully situated and attractively decorated. Well, let's put it like this: there are many different ways that people can be uh, diverted from spiritual life. So we must pass through all these places without being enamored by them. Otherwise, we get stuck. Translation, text 10 translation. The parks and gardens in the artificial heavens surpass in beauty those of the upper heavenly planet. The trees on those gardens, embraced by creepers, bend with a heavy burden of twigs with fruits and flowers, and therefore they appear extraordinarily beautiful. That beauty could attract anyone and make his mind fully blossom in the pleasure of sense gratification. There it is. There are many lakes, reservoirs, and clear, transparent water, agitated by jumping fish and decorated with many flowers, such as lilies, kuvalayas, karvaras, and blue and red lotuses. Pairs of chakravarkas and many other water birds nest in the lakes and always enjoy in a happy mood, making sweet, pleasing vibrations that are very satisfying and conducive to enjoyment of the senses. Text 11. Since there is no sunshine in those subterranean planets, time is not divided into days and nights, and consequently, fear produced by time does not exist. Wow, that's interesting. Text 12. Many great serpents reside there with gems on their hoods, and the effulgence of their gems dissipates the darkness in all directions. Well, okay, that convinces me not to go there. Text 13. Since the residents of these planets drink and bathe in juices and elixirs made from wonderful herbs, they are freed from all anxieties and physical diseases. They have no experience of gray hair, wrinkles, or invalidity. Their bodily lusters do not fade. Their perspiration does not cause a bad smell, and they are not troubled by fatigue or by lack of energy or enthusiasm due to old age. Well, all the nonsense, bad people would like this. They live very auspiciously and do not fear death from anything but death's established time, which is the effulgence of the Sudarsana Chakra of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. This is the defect of material existence. Yeah, you see, that's why I said it was not like this. Everything in the subterranean heavens is very nicely arranged. There are well situated residential quarters. There is pleasing atmosphere, and there are no bodily inconveniences or mental anxieties. But, a big but, nevertheless, those who live there have to take another birth according to karma. Persons whose minds are dull cannot understand this defect of materialistic civilization aiming at material comforts. One may make his living conditions very pleasing for the senses, but despite all favorable conditions, one must in due course of time meet death. The members of a demoniac civilization endeavor to make their living conditions very comfortable, but they cannot check death. The influence of the Sudarsana Chakra will not allow their so-called material happiness to endure. Okay, so therefore they are destined to all die and suffer for all their sense gratification. When Sudarsana disc enters those provinces, the pregnant wives of the demons all have miscarriages due to fear of its effulgence. My dear king, now I shall describe to you the lower planetary system, one by one, beginning from Atala. In Atala, there is a demon, the son of Mayadanava, named Baba, who created 96 kinds of mystic power. Sure. Some so-called yogis and swamis take advantage of this mystic power to cheat people, even today. Wow. Simply by yawning, the demon Baba created 3 kinds of women, known as Swarini, Kamini, and Pumskali. The Swarinis like to marry men from their own group. The Kaminis marry men from any group. And the Pumsakalis change husbands one after another. If a man enters the planet of Atala, these women immediately capture him and induce him to drink an intoxicating beverage made with a drug known as Hataka, cannabis indica. Well, now we know why there's so many dumb people in this world. This intoxicant endows the man with great sexual prowess, oh my God, of which the women take advantage for enjoyment. Yeah, waste the sperm of the men, make them weak. A woman will enchant him with attractive glance, intimate words, smiles of love, and then embraces. In this way, she induces him to enjoy sex with her to her full satisfaction. Because of his increased sexual power, the man thinks himself stronger than 10,000 elephants and considers himself most perfect. Indeed, illusioned and intoxicated by false pride, he thinks himself God, ignoring impending death. Oh my God. You become an idiot. So these different kinds of women, known as Swarini, Kamini, and Pumskali. The Swarinis like to marry men from their own group. The Kaminis marry men from any group, and the Pumskalis change husbands one after another. Well, I know people like that. The movie star women. If a man enters the planet of Atala, these women immediately capture him and induce him to drink an intoxicating beverage made with a drug known as hataka, cannabis indica. Oh, that's going on all the time in this world. This intoxicant endows the man with great sexual prowess, of which the women take advantage for enjoyment. A woman will enchant him with attractive glances, intimate words, smiles of love, and then embraces. In this way, she induces him to enjoy sex with her to her full satisfaction. So the men think that they are having fun with the women, but the women have more satisfaction than the men and more or less waste all the semen of the men, so they become weak and stupid. So this cannabis indica, or in other words, uh, cannabis, which is the famous uh, drug of the hippies, this intoxicant endows the man with great sexual prowess, of which women take advantage for enjoyment. A woman will enchant him with attractive glances, intimate words, smiles of love, and then embraces. In this way, she induces him to enjoy sex with her to her full satisfaction. Because of his increased sexual power, the man who thinks himself stronger than 10,000 elephants and considers himself most perfect. Indeed, illusioned and intoxicated by false pride, he thinks himself God, ignoring impending deaths. Well, that's what's happening to so many people today. Okay, text number 17. The next planet below Atala is Vitala, wherein Lord Shiva, who is known as the master of gold mines, oh my God, lives with his personal associates, the ghosts, and similar living entities. Lord Shiva, as the progenitor, engages in sex with Bhavani, the progenitress, to produce living entities. And from the mixture of their vital fluid, the river named Hatika is generated. When fire, being made to blaze by the wind, drinks of this water and then sizzles and spits it out, it produces gold called Hataka. The demons who live on that planet with their wives decorate themselves with various ornaments made from that gold, and thus they live there very happily. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It appears that when Baba and Bhavani, or Shiva and his wife, unite sexually, the emulsification of their secretions creates a chemical which, when heated by fire, can produce gold. It is said that the alchemists of the medieval age tried to prepare gold from base metal, and Srila Sanatana Goswami also states that when bell metal is treated with mercury, it can produce gold. But mercury is highly, let's say, it's very, very poisonous.
Poisonous.
So when bell metal is treated with mercury, it can produce gold. Srila Sanatana Goswami mentions this in regard to the initiation of low-class men to turn them into brahmanas. Sanatana Goswami said, Yata kanchana tam yati kamsyam rasa vidanata tata diksha videnan vidanena dvijatvam jayate nrinam. As one can transform kamsa or bell metal into gold by treating it with mercury. Now, mercury is highly contaminating, and and if you uh, mess around with mercury, you'll die. One can also turn a low-born man into a brahmana by initiating him properly into Vaishnava activities. So, as one can transform kamsa or bell metal into gold by treating it with mercury, one can also turn a low-born man into a brahmana by initiating him properly into Vaishnava activities. Okay, well, that's very good. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is trying to turn Malechas and Yavanas into real Brahmanas by properly initiating them and stopping them from engaging in meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. One who stops these four principles of sinful activity and chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra can certainly become a pure Brahmana through the process of bona fide initiation, as suggested by Srila Sanatan Goswami. Apart from this, if one takes a hint from this verse and learns how to mix mercury with bell metal, don't do it. It's very dangerous. You will die easily. By properly heating and melting them, one can get gold very cheaply. Yeah, the devotees asked Prabhupada, they said, Prabhupada, how can we do this? We can make a lot of money. And Prabhupada basically said, don't even try. The alchemists of the medieval age tried to manufacture gold, but they were unsuccessful, perhaps because they did not follow the right instructions. Text 18. Below the planet Vitala is another planet known as Sutala, where the great son of Maharaj Virochana, Bali Maharaja, who is celebrated as the most pious king, resides even now. Good to know. For the welfare of Indra, the king of heaven, Lord Vishnu appeared in the form of a dwarf brahmachari as the son of Aditi and tricked Bali Maharaj by begging for only 3 paces of land. But taking all the 3 worlds, being very pleased with Bali Maharaj for giving all his possessions, the Lord returned his kingdom and made him richer than the opulent King Indra. Even now, Bali Maharaja engages in devotional service by worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the planet Sutala. That's good news. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described as Uttamas Loka, he who is worshipped by the best of selected Sanskrit verses. And his devotees, such as Bali Maharaja, are also worshipped by Punya Sloka verses that increase one's piety. Bali Maharaj offered everything to the Lord, his wealth, his kingdom, and even his own body. Svatma Nivedane Bali. The Lord appeared before Bali Maharaj as a Brahmana beggar, and Bali Maharaj gave him everything he had. However, Bali Maharaja did not become poor. By donating all his possessions to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he became a successful devotee and got everything back again with the blessings of the Lord. Very interesting. Similarly, those who give contributions to expand the activities of the Krishna consciousness movement and to accomplish its objectives will never be losers. Uh, they will get their wealth back with the blessings of Lord Krishna. On the other hand, on the other side, those who collect contributions on behalf of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness should be very careful not to use even a farthing, meaning not even a penny, of the collection for any purpose other than the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Okay, so this is a very good understanding for devotees who preach and receive donations. Therefore, it says, Bali Maharaj did not become poor by donating all his possessions to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He became a successful devotee and got everything back again with the blessings of the Lord. Similarly, those who give contributions to expand the activities of the Krishna consciousness movement and to accomplish its objectives will never be losers. They will get their wealth back with the blessings of Lord Krishna. On the other side, those who collect contributions on behalf of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness should be very careful not to use even a farthing, meaning a penny, of the collection for any purpose other than the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Wow.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, one
Yes,
quick question.
yes.
Yeah, this is a very big statement. Uh, but what we do for Ananda Mela and all festivals, right? Nowadays we spend a lot of money. That is considered as transcendental or what exactly, Maharaj? Because we spend nowadays too much on other than directly to Krishna.
Well, it depends on what you do with the money. Are you implying that the money is being wasted? Is that what you're trying to?
Yes, Maharaj. I think we waste a lot of money on because everybody wants to do their own activities and we spend a lot of things because whatever we buy after Ananda Mela, I can say that three-fourth of the things are not at all available in the next year. They simply buy it, Maharaj. That's all. Then what happens? We don't know. After next year again, we will buy. We don't take care of very well on that item. I don't know how to manage that. It's more on the management. But I thought of asking you because transcendental means here we should be very careful, you know. So if you buy something, you should keep it. Okay. Say for example, if we buy something for our home, you know, we will keep it for 10 years. We don't buy like that. But in the case of temple, you know, we buy so many things. Every year we buy the same thing because of where it is, nobody knows. It's not that people are taking misusing it for their personal purpose. They don't take care personal temple items like a personal items.
Well, that's not good. I mean, we shouldn't even waste one penny of Krishna's, money. But are you saying that there's always a lot of waste?
In the sense, we buy the same item. Say, for example, every year we buy tents. Year we buy each and every item. I don't know. We whatever we buy, there is no. See, I manage completely on finance tracking. But say, for example, like we buy a lot of books. I ask multiple times because there are a lot of devotees, volunteers. To give an example, that's all. Not to point anyone here. Where is the inventory? Where nobody knows because once it's bought, nobody knows. Like for example, we bought so many uh, grinders, so many, for example, so many tents. How many tent we are having? How many tent we sold? Nobody knows. Like that, so many items we may buy, Maharaj. Massive items.
And I want to add here, Guru Maharaj, that those books we don't even get when we have to sell. Um, all those things, it's very hard to even get to the site. Only very few reaches up to the site.
What books are you talking about?
We buy all the for the publication for the Maharaj, like Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. There are so many authors' books, right? And so many we make lot of payments, but we don't have a way to figure out. Hey, I bought 1,000 Bhagavad Gita, and for 1,000 Bhagavad Gita we got so and so money, and 800 Bhagavad Gita are not sold. It's available in so and so. That kind of a thing. We don't have that kind of a tracking as of now.
Well,
Yeah.
are the books being sold?
See, that's Maharaj. That's what they, it's a sold, or it's a given free of cost, or it is given somewhere, or where they are kept. No, see, beyond it's my jurisdiction. I really don't know, Maharaj. Once they take the books, how they distribute, where they keep, no idea, Maharaj. But we pay. Like, obviously, I get a lot of bills. I usually try to make the payments because we don't want to get bad name. But at the same time, someone has to seriously work on in and out how many books are coming, how many books we sold, how many books we are giving free of cost, how many books are not, which particular place, like which devotee house or a godown or somewhere, that kind of it. I'm just talking about one part of the story, Maharaj, like a books like that. We buy a lot of items for uh, farm for each festivals, because nowadays what's happening, everybody are having credit card, Maharaj. Like a lot of credit cards are there. They will go simply buy it, and so many times I don't they don't submit their bills also. With that, multiple times I told to the management, but it is all very sensitive topic. If I go and talk to them, they may feel, hey, why he is coming and talking, because I talk to president and president is approved. That kind of a conversation happens. That's why I will avoid all talking all these things. I will just update to presidents, and they need to work on. Yeah,
How,
because yeah, the reason why I thought this is a very big statement. That's why Prabhupada is calling out. I thought of pitching in.
Prabhupada did not want even one penny to be wasted. He was very, very meticulous about the uh, money coming in and going out to make sure that nothing was wasted or misappropriated. So you're saying now that there is a lot of waste or misappropriation also. Is that what you're saying?
I don't see misappreciation. I will not say, Maharaj. This is more on, I can say, taking care of it, actually, like a personal thing, Maharaj. I don't say that devotees are taking something. No, that's not the case, Maharaj. That's not the statement from my side. But the way they take and manage it, that's what I see, Maharaj. Like, for example, if some electrical plug is not there, they don't see whether it is there or not. They will simply buy it, because the reason is the in charge team members, they need to keep a stock of how many they given and how many they received. Like, for example, in my square is one dangle cost $50. I take lot of pain to when I give, I will give a number, I will collect the number, collect the same thing, I will track. If somebody doesn't give, I will phone them, and I will try to follow up with them, because every year that I cannot buy the same square card, because it will be $3,000 to $4,000, which I don't want to spend. Uh, but even with that tracking, also out of 10, out of 50, I may lose one or two, because some people may not give. They may say it's not available. They lost. But that much tracking is required. It's very hard to track once we give in some items to someone, because it's not a easy task. Instead of that, what a lot of people do, they simply go and buy it. That's it. They buy it and they charge it. Yeah.
Okay. So you mean there's a lot of wastage?
Yes, Maharaj. Last a lot of wastage, I can say that.
Yeah, Prabhupada didn't like that.
I
What's
don't know how to implement that. That requires a lot of manpower, and without devotees' cooperation, we cannot do that, Maharaj. It's not from one person or one team can do. Whoever actually owns the service, they need be responsible to take care of it, Maharaj.
okay? Well, this is an important point that you're making. Very important. What is the solution?
Solution is to come from very top level, Maharaj. These things and all. See, it's like top level.
Bottom up, Prabhu. Everybody has to report and track back. I can report how many books I got. If I got four Ramayans only, I begged for more. I got only four, two Hindi, two English. I distributed both English and one Hindi. I did not have Telugu. So I can track back that we are short of Ramayana, but that's not the case. Or Russian Bhagavad Gita. So we have to own the inventory. We have to report back how many books we actually sold, how much money we collected. For it's not about books. It's about like everything. If we have square cards, you bought a lot of charging battery charging things. Did everyone return to you? So there has to be in charge of everything. So there has
Mataji,
to be.
in my case, I'm managing it. I
Okay, I
never
didn't
buy
know
it.
that you were
Yeah,
managing, but
I manage
yeah.
my area. But
So
my
I didn't
question
know
is
that this is your barrier, but I'm just asking a question that
no, no. My
if
question only
there is.
one thing, Maharaj. Not to go deviate here. Whoever actually takes, they need to maintain their log. What I'm trying to say is, see, if somebody asks, I'm having all the log. I can show to anyone. The similarly, say for example, you are taking a book service. How many books you have taken 5 years back? How many books has been sold? How much whether we received or that kind of a tracking is required from each and everyone, every devotees. Then only it can be successful. It's not that if someone will do on behalf what we have done, that will never work. In my case, whatever I do every day, in the end itself, I will report. There is an email goes to Maharaj and the management. How much money we got, how much money we sold. From past 10 years, that's what I do. I send an email. Yeah.
What do we have a? Are we making money or are we losing money?
No, money we are making. See, Krishna conscious point of view, money is coming, Maharaj. Money is coming, but money is going also. My idea, the reason why I'm bringing that point, now the things economy and the way things are going on, and we are having multiple temples, and we need to manage this very well. Otherwise, it will be unmanageable going forward. If it is one temple, it's very simple. If there are three temples, it's very hard. We need a good system to manage end to end.
Okay.
Yeah, Maharaj, what I recommend here is we need to call out one of the uh, meeting kind of a thing and call the leaders and emphasize that various track leads. Probably we need to identify track leads and we need to tell their responsibility that, hey, you are managing this, you need to keep track of it going forward. That's the only way we can manage, Maharaj.
Well, okay. Let's say there is, uh, you know, in whenever there's a festival, we're purchasing so many things. Are you saying that a lot of things are being wasted?
I'm not saying waste, Maharaj. I don't know. Next year that will not be available sometimes. That's a main issue. For the next festival itself, we don't know. See, we don't know where it is. We don't have a tracker. We cannot go to one computer and say that, hey, we need 4 tables. Where it is available, we don't know the location or in like that. Like that, so many things, Maharaj. So many things we buy.
Hmm. Well, do you keep a record of who takes those things?
No, it's in a very high level. See, in my case, I do very high level, Maharaj. Say from Amazon, they bought 25 items, Maharaj. I don't have a way to capture all 25 items. I take only 25 items. I will say that if we bought Amazon, so and so for the event. That's it, Maharaj. But the details, because people who buy it and they will have all the position of that items. I don't have a visibility. So many items, I don't know what they are buying. I just see that who approved. If the approval is there, just I will
But
assume that
but you
it's
get the invoices.
yes, Maharaj, invoice is there, but I really don't know what they are doing with that items, because they are the people who are keep the items. They are where they are keeping. I don't know whether they are telling to others before buying, oh, that's available in so and so, go down, please go and check, or it's available in the devotee house, go and check. I don't think so, Maharaj, because it's not in centrally maintained. Hey, these are the items we bought, these are the items are available. Or even for books also, books are laying all over the place. There is no one place we can say today. If you come back and ask me how many Bhagavad Gita books are there, I don't know, Maharaj. That's not managed by me. I manage only how much money we are getting. I collect money and I pay money. That's it. I don't know how many books are laying in with which devotees, who is actually distributing. I don't know, Maharaj, because that's not possible for me. Also, that's one person cannot do all these things, Maharaj. Maybe
Maharaj,
I think Narahari Prabhu is the in charge. He may know it. That's what I'm thinking. Probably
Who's
I
that?
don't know.
Who is that?
Narahari Prabhu. He is the in charge earlier.
so Maharaj, just for the purpose of this call, like I think this is something that maybe Prabhu, like you should bring it up with Maharaj and with the leads. And I think it's definitely a topic that must be discussed and plan has to be put in place.
Mhm.
But I don't know that in this
It
call.
is not the right form. I agree,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of
So,
this purport has sparked it. But definitely I can talk in detail maybe in some other meeting.
yeah, let's do that way where we can make some proper decisions and right people are also involved. But I think it needs to be discussed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
When are we going to discuss it?
I mean, I think Vijay Sagar Prabhu, you have the forum, right? For with Maharaj, you can bring it up in the either festival leads meeting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
I will be there if you ask me to be there.
Yeah.
We can discuss this more thoroughly.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.